The conservatory here at Allen Gardens is over 100 years old. It covers 16,000 square feet and is home to thousands of exotic plant species from around the world. But the future of this historic building is in jeopardy. Toronto City Council is considering rezoning the parkland the conservatory stands on, which would open the door for new development, a prospect that has local residents outraged. The Canadian Cancer Society says that whatever the scandals surrounding Lance Armstrong, it has not affected their ability to fundraise successfully. Sears Canada has been facing financial hardship for years. Just last year, they closed their flagship store at Toronto's Eaton Centre, putting hundreds of people out of work. And now it seems that Sears Canada may be out of a job as well. Sears Canada's parent company announced today that it is looking for, quote, strategic options for its 51% interest in the retailer. Bad news as the company struggles to remain viable in an increasingly competitive sector. Though the cause of the fire is as yet undetermined, an unnamed source within the fire department speculates that the blaze may have been intentionally set. For Ryerson Broadcast News, I'm Rebecca Ananda.
Rebecca, who was the winner last night?
Well, Lauren, unfortunately, this isn't the answer anyone wants to hear, but really the general consensus is that Rob Ford did win the debate. He stayed on message. He was very clear and concise in his message. And the way that the debate was structured really played to his strengths. It was a very loose format, not a lot of intervention by the moderator, Gord Martineau, which really allowed him to get his message through and made the other candidates really sort of flail with the lack of structure. And no one called him on some of the false statements he made during the debate as well. He claimed that he saved the city $1 billion, which is one of his very favorite claims to make. There's a great article in the Globe and Mail today which disproves that statement. He also claimed he never cut TTC. He did do a 10% cut to the TTC budget in 2012. No one called him on any of these statements, which, you know, was a really lost opportunity for them. In terms of who kind of came second and third, I'd really have to say Olivia Chow and John Tory did a really good job of staying on message, making an impression, and also being aggressive in the format and the style that was available to them last night. The big losers, definitely Karen Stintz and David Soknacki. The one thing that Ford did really well as well was he was able to paint Chow and Soknacki with that brush of David Miller. Pointed out that Soknacki had been the budget chair for David Miller during his mayoralty, which again is not something very popular with Torontonians. So he was very effective in that way. And Karen Stintz just came across as unprepared with a lack of confidence, and I think really performed very poorly. But again, the whole point is this is extremely preliminary. We've got months and months to go, so as a first shot, it was interesting, but I think there's still a lot more game to play.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Amanda.
You're welcome.
Sorry, Rebecca.
It's okay. Today, the grief is still fresh as residents of Cabbagetown pay their respects at the spot where one of their neighbors lost their life. Tuesday morning, Nigisti Semret was on her way home from work, walking down this alley near Ontario and Winchester Streets, when she was stabbed to death by an unknown assailant. Police believe the killer frequents the Cabbagetown neighborhood and is likely still in the area. Police say that local residents are scared, and with reason, as homeless people and drug users from the nearby Regent Park and Moss Park areas often pass through Cabbagetown.
It is extremely nerve-wracking. This act of violence is so malicious, and it seems like it's so vindictive, and it was an innocent bystander who was hurt and then immediately killed.
With the killer still at large, tension runs high in Cabbagetown. People are afraid. But from that is coming a sense of strength and community solidarity.
I don't think anybody's more fearful now. I think this particular incident put everybody on edge, but the community is galvanized. People are talking, people are getting out together, and I think positive things might come out of this really horrible incident.
We're not going to let one isolated incident that was so malicious take our community away from us.
Residents will be holding a vigil tonight, starting at 6:30, at the same spot where Nigisti Semret was killed. For Toronto Today, I'm Rebecca Ananda.